Welcome, Jason, Shah. Why didn't your relationships with girls in past didn't work? How was your experience with the whole team?
It's difficult when you have a scene with Malika Jan. I was like, who's Malika Jan?
What's the secret of your glow, your fitness and everything?
I mean, I've always dreamed of being...
But not Sanjay Balsali. Hello and welcome to SVS, the Sameep Ved show. Powered by Lovert and produced by Rabta by Rahul. And today on my couch is an Indian-British actor who has marked his identity, captured his territory with a patience of 15 years almost, and now ruling the Indian cinema. Very popularly known as Mr. Cartwright of HEERAMANDI is right in front of me on my show, the Sameep Ved show. Welcome, Jason Shah on my show. You look amazing.
Yes,
you have a very, thank you so much. Thank you. You have a very positive aura around you. The moment you entered, I think you carry your aura with you. What's the secret of your glow, your fitness and everything?
Stay healthy.
Stay healthy.
Sleep early.
Yes.
Definitely stay connected to God.
Right.
And family first.
Right. By the way, you did it. HEERAMANDI, of course, with all the characters in the movie, yours is one character which people will remember. You have marked that identity. You have captured your territory, as I was introducing it the same way. How was the experience? I know you must be bored by giving this answer. How was your experience with the whole team? Because it's a dream come true for so many actors who have been there in the industry, and you got it. After what, 15 years of patience, right? Right. How was your experience with the whole team and unit?
I think it's a learning experience as each, new show or, new movie is. I think working with so many directors is also challenging as each one brings their own, take on what your character is supposed to be. Making sure that you don't lose what you know about your character and the changes that you've made. To be specific on certain points.
Right.
I think that it was challenging in a few different places. It's wonderful as well to have the opportunity to work with so many Bollywood heroines.
Right.
Which obviously is something very new for me.
Right.
But it was fantastic. I'd worked alongside actually Ujjwal sir, who's playing Tajdar's father. I've watched him so much on Indian TV, and when I sat across him, I was like, I know you.
Yes.
And then we got chatting. So obviously it's a dream. I actually, one day I thought when I watched Dabang, I was like, I want to work with Sonakshi one day. So that was amazing. Yeah.
Yes.
So it was like dreams coming true, And yeah.
You've been with so many actors on one platform, made you nervous somewhere. I know you have done TVs a lot of time, and then you emerged from Big Boss, which I'm not going to talk about because everyone knows about the whole journey of Big Boss. So, and then TV happened to you, and now the big production, Sanjay Leela Balsali production. What is the difference working on a television set and working with a renowned director? Was there a difference in a lot of things, I'm sure?
There's a lot of differences, obviously. There's a lot of similarities. I would say that in TV, it's very rushed. You have long hours. You're working 17, sometimes 19-hour days, which gets taxing, I think.
Right.
You continuously hear the same thing, ki, sir, kal telecast hai.
Yes.
So there's a continuous pressure in TV. Whereas with obviously movie making, which I think Bansali sir is more of a filmmaker than a web series director.
Right.
But obviously now he's been able to prove that he can do both.
Right.
There just are going to be certain differences of, I think sometimes, especially for the song that Sonakshi danced with, the one take song that's also gotten quite a bit of, traction. We sat for literally half the day. He called everyone. He said, I want the non-dancers to dance. So he called each one one after the other and said, you dance, played a song, you dance, played a song. And he called me and he said, I want you to dance because you can't dance.
Right.
So I think what he was looking for was that previously a choreography, was made for that, and he was thinking कि नहीं ऐसे लग रहा है कि
choreographed
है तो ये नहीं लगना चाहिए.
Right.
Then I think once we all brought something to the table, he looked at Sonakshi and he said, take it away. And I mean, sitting next to her, watching her at some points in the song, I almost forgot that I was, in a shoot.
Right.
I was watching her and I was just like, wow, it really takes, that courage just to go and give it your all. And she did a fantastic job. So I think there are you'll never find that in TV.
Right.
That space that I want to find something new. It's not happening for me. It's a very one track. Okay, Jason needs to do this. Bash 10 heads in.
You're known for this.
Yeah.
You're known for this. Yes. How comfortable you were with all the experienced actors on one platform? How comfortable you were? I heard you and Manisha were not talking to each other.
Yes.
Why was that?
I think she's an actress that is very much in her space, and I respect that a lot. I've worked with Amir Khan in Thugs of Hindustan, and I think that he's that same kind of person, he's a person who's got that character and he's in that world that he's created for himself.
Right.
Rarely did he even speak to me, and I think, we had some very good conversation, but it wasn't a lot of the time. A lot of the time it was just him in his world, and I think she kind of created that for herself, which I respect, completely.
She created because of a character, or she is generally like that, like to be alone?
Maybe a bit of that as well. She might be generally a little bit quiet,
Right.
Whereas I'm like talk to everybody, and
Yes.
I'm that kind of person कि माहौल वैसे ही होना चाहिए, मजाक मस्ती.
Right.
But लोगों शायद मेरे से ज़्यादा थोड़ा serious होते हैं कहीं,
Right.
तो ठीक है.
How was it? So there is a scene in the series where between you and Ustad ji, and that literally, like right now also while talking to you, it gave goosebumps to so many of us. How comfortable were you when the scene was narrated to you?
Narrated, I was just reading the script, and obviously एक सोच जाता है कि okay, what is this, because that written and eventually played out
Right.
is usually, it's not as they say in India, 19-20 nahi hota hai. It's almost black and white.
Yes, okay.
So I was thinking that of course there's going to be some challenge there, and I think the reassurance came in when I kept saying, okay, well at the end of the day it's Bansali. So it's not going to be shot in a vulgar way.
No, that scene was amazing.
It's going to be aesthetic. It's going to be artistic, in that sense. So yes, there was a bit of nerves even going to the set. I remember the night before, I was nervous. I lost some sleep in the car. I was nervous thinking about it. But then once we got there, me and Indresh anyways had quite good chemistry just from different things. So we went, sat in the vanity, spoke about it for 40 minutes, and just kind of, I think, let it happen.
Yeah, and that scene is the first scene where people got goosebumps was that one. And now, the walk of Aditi Rao is going viral again, because that again captured a lot of traction, right? Again, from HEERAMANDI, a lot of talks of the town right now is that Sharmeen Sehgal was absolutely one tone in her acting. What do you have to say?
So I felt that in quite
You
a
had
few
scenes with
places.
her.
I also had,
Yeah.
So I felt that. But again, that's a director's take.
Right.
It's in his hand if that's what he's looking for. Some people were saying an introvert can be like that.
Right.
But for me personally, this is on a personal level, even an introvert, especially if their boyfriend or to-be-wed husband dies, I think there would be an eruption of sorts, somewhere, at least in the eyes, or somewhere you'd get a little fierce or angry or frustrated, or something would have shown, which I felt was a little bit too one-tone.
Exactly. now coming back to you, कितने बार डांट पड़ी है set पे? Like Sanjay sir, like, you know, because I heard in other interviews also of where Aditi is saying or Manisha is saying or Sonakshi is saying कि सबको पड़ी है. Everybody was scolded by him once or twice or more than that in fact. Were you part of the whole scolding?
I think koi nahi bachta.
कोई नहीं बचता. Right, exactly.
And I think, yes, I did. So I was doing 3 South films as this was going on.
Yes.
I did 3 Tamil films at the same time.
Yes.
So I was going up and down in weight a lot. And I think for one of the scenes I came back and I had just come from Chennai the night before. And I was a little heavier. And he came and he looked at me in the morning and he said, "You're fat." But again, see, he's my director. I
Right.
never take, people will say, oh, well, that's negative or body shaming or something like that. No, he's making a, you know, it's from his perspective, he's looking at the broader picture.
Right.
And I was probably a little slimmer couple, you know, scenes before that. So
Right.
he's looking at me and saying, you look better like this. You know what I mean? So I don't take it negatively. I was like, all right, I'll go running tomorrow. You know, and, you know, try and get back to that weight as soon as possible. It is difficult, you know,
Right.
things like that. And the schedule was hectic.
I'm sure. It took 2 years to make the film or 1 year? Like, what's
So
it took?
I was in and out for about 1.5.
Wow.
And yeah,
It's difficult because I remember even like losing focus. Like they were like, "Oh, you have a scene with Malika Jad." And
Right.
I was like, "Who's Malika Jad?"
you know, all these jobs are coming up. Because I'm going back between different projects and, you know, I think somewhere I would kind of lose focus in some ways.
True.
But then again, as an actor, that's what you've been given and that's what you have to do. You have to focus.
Right.
But yeah.
So you gave audition right before getting selected, or you got selected like your contacts or what?
So I think I gave the audition probably 3 months prior.
Oh wow. Okay.
And as I've always done, I forget about it.
Right.
Take it out of my mind. नहीं तो वो stress, anxiety, वो इंसान पागल हो जाता है कि अच्छा किया, नहीं किया, director को अच्छा लगा. You know, all these things start wrapping in my mind. So ever since I've been a youngster in this industry, I always forget about my auditions. And my agent called me up and said, go to Sanjay's office. So I was like, awesome. Did a reading. As I was just sitting alone reading, he walked inside of the room and he was taking something out of the cupboard, or so I thought.
Oh, and you were there reading and you had no idea he's there.
No, I saw him, so I stood up and I said,
Right.
"Hi, sir."
And he was very quiet. He didn't really say too much. And later I realized he didn't come for the cupboard. He just came
to see how the process is going with you.
yeah, or even maybe just to see me, because I
Right.
think you give auditions sometimes and a person can look very different on a phone
Right.
and then in real life. So to
Right.
me, I was like, he's come to check me out just to see if everything's intact.
So he's the one who made this call of yes or no, right? Wow. Tell me, you are in this industry for 15 years now, okay? And now you have done work, you have done good work, and you know, been into reality show or television and movies with Amir Khan and everybody. But you created your benchmark with the release of HEERAMANDI, right? After 15 years. Why? Why you like all of a sudden, you know, Jason Shah is getting noticed. Everyone is talking about Jason. Jason is everywhere on social media. What didn't work for you for past 15 years and worked for like in a week?
It's a good question. I've been around a long time. I think specifically when it comes to the web series section or even in film, I think as a Britisher or very much, see, I feel I'm Indian.
Right.
I think a lot like a good Jew most of the time.
Right.
Kabhi confused bhi ho koi cheez pe. But I think there wasn't enough of a story in a lot of places or space for that.
Very well said. Yes.
You know, and I'm so grateful and so blessed with everything that I've done, all the recent work that I've done.
Right.
You know, some people say, oh, well, you're getting typecasted. Look, I'm in India. You know, I've got to work with what I have. as you know, we were having a chat. I studied in NYFA, so my school group, my whole class, they're always telling me, Jason, why are you sitting in India? You should come to Hollywood. You should try it over here, you know. But my heart is here. My family is here. My friends are here. I was born and raised here.
In Bombay.
In Bombay. So actually, when it was Bombay.
Yes.
So,
yes.
I mean, this is where I am, and I'm excited because I've always wanted to do a body of work that now hopefully I will get into somebody's mind of the creative part.
Right.
I think I've always been going for parts that were already created.
Right.
We need a white guy.
Right.
Jason's here.
Yes.
Now it's, hey, we have this guy called Jason. He's done this body of work. Maybe we can create something for him.
Right.
So hopefully it'll change.
So you know what I feel, and what the audience also felt with Sanjay Leela Balsali production, he knows how to take an actor out of someone. You know, like Sonakshi have also done so much in past, but she's getting noticed on HEERAMANDI, you know, and even Manisha Koirala, even Aditi Rao Hedri, everybody. With you also, you have done this kind of role in past, but with HEERAMANDI, it was a different vibe that you carried with you. It was a different aura that you carried. Was there a pressure when you used to go on set to work with these people and deliver exactly at that same level? Or you were like, no, I'll be absolutely myself, let others be themselves, and I'll give my 100%?
I think I've been doing this for a while, and once you become the villain, you start to get very authoritative, especially on set.
Right.
You start feeling कि आप मेरे office में बैठा है.
Right.
You know, I'm the commanding officer over here. So it doesn't matter who you are. You might be, you know, the Queen of England, but you've come into my office. So automatically that character starts to take itself. I would say I was never under pressure in any ways. Of course, there are certain points where I've had, you know, a couple of the directors come up to me and say, Jason, ek ghanta hai, isko to khatam hi karna hai. So obviously there are places like that, but then again, that's what you'd go and tell a Virat Kohli.
Exactly. Like the pressure. Yes.
And you look for those kind of people. So I think that quite a few people noticed that even under pressure, I can still work. You know, I'm not scared. I look at it as a challenge.
Right.
As you said, Bansali taking something out of somebody, I think definitely he sees something that maybe has never been seen.
Exactly. You said it right.
And where I've personally seen, I don't watch too much because I really don't get a lot of time.
Right.
But I just watched Murder Mubarak.
Yeah.
And I saw Pankaj Tripathi play that role, and I was just like, this guy is phenomenal.
Pankaj is amazing. He's amazing.
Like, I'm not anywhere near that.
Yes.
But I was just like, he's a good comedian. But he's still playing hard.
Right.
You know, you get that sense that he's a comedian.
Right.
But you still know
yes. The thin line which he's right there in between.
It's super.
Yeah. Amazing. Tell me something. Kismat or hard work. What works in film industry?
I think both, a bit of both.
Really?
I think perseverance is one.
Yeah.
You've got to persevere. You can't let go. Look, this is something that I think a lot of people enter this thing and they think of the lights and the action and the makeup artists and all of that. And then they don't realize that sometimes you're going to be on set late. You might get, you know, a little bit of bad traction from your followers. You've got to have an endurance level that I would say in a lot of spaces you don't need.
Right.
You know, you've got to kind of close your ears at some point and say, look, I know that this is for me, and have conviction and stand in it. But I don't think, maybe not all, but I would say most people walking into this industry, I don't think they think much about that.
Yes.
So when that side starts to, you know, hit them with a barrage of comments and, you know, things, you know, your family starts questioning you, why did this happen and what happened? I think they all of a sudden start feeling insecure as like, why isn't everybody seeing me the way that I see me?
Right.
That's the power of your viewers.
Exactly,
So, yeah.
exactly. So how does like, you know, in your case, I've gone through your Instagram also, you know, you don't post much.
Yeah.
You are very, very upfront, very cut to cut when it comes on, you know, social media. Where others must be not doing anything, but they are posting so much, and you're absolutely contrast to it. Why is that?
Again, I'm blessed with the work that I have. I've been so busy, to be honest. I've gone to the gym, I think, like twice in the last 2 weeks.
Really?
And this is the first time, yes, like even my agent and my agency has been saying, you've got to post. This is part of, you know,
Yes.
the industry. This is part of making work happen for yourself. I've never done it, and I've been as blessed as I am to
Right.
it. I'm willing to try new things, so I think I'm trying my level. best to be a
Absolutely,
bit
you
more active
are.
these days.
You are, yes.
But again, it's what works for you. If that's working for you and you're an influencer, you know, in that sense, as an
Right.
actor, you need to push. I think obviously as you work more, you start showing more work.
And your work talks. After a point, it's not you, it's your work which
Exactly.
talks in your industry, right? How real and fake people are in your industry today?
More fake than real.
More fake than real? You have burnt your hands?
I would say I would definitely say I've seen it.
You have seen it,
I've seen
right?
what it is. I've seen the hugs and the kisses and
Right.
you know, the turnaround, the other look like, oh gosh,
Yeah.
you know, that person's here, and then hey,
Right.
so I've seen it.
You have seen that, right? Does it affect you? Like, you know, you are surrounded with people and like, you know, whom to trust, whom not to trust. Does it affect you somewhere?
Trusting somebody, I think you need to be mature. It takes a little bit of learning. You should be who you are.
Right.
But I would say don't put all your eggs in one basket. You know, be careful about who you're trusting. Be honest with yourself. I'll say that I think a few people that I know start trying to tell a lie and then realize that they've told a lot of lies to cover that lie.
Yes.
So I think it's about knowing where you're stepping. You
Right.
know? I am very upfront and normal.
That you sure you are the way you're talking upfrontly. You're honest.
Yes.
You're absolutely honest, and I can see that.
And that's helped me because that makes me live an easy life.
Right.
You know, rather than, oh my God, now I've told that person, I've acted this way with that person, so now I have to behave a certain way with
Very
that
well
person.
said. Yeah.
You know, and I think there were a couple things like that even on HEERAMANDI that a lot of people were like, "Nahi, bhai, ye to matlab samne se." He'll say
Upfront
what-
is
upfront
honest,
is,
yeah.
But and then again, my mom's British. You'll find, I'm sure you've traveled many times to London.
Right.
You'll find that they're a bit more on the face.
Upfront, they're
Yeah.
very upfront. They're very upfront. How come your accent is not, you know, because you've been to London? Because London in UK, the accent is different.
Yeah.
The British accent is different. So how do you manage to talk in Hindi
Well, I was born and raised in
here,
Mumbai.
and
yes.
then but in still like the way you talk right now? Nobody can say that you're born and brought up in Bombay. Yeah. So that was because of the schooling or because of the parents or?
I think कहीं ना कहीं तो टा और अड़ा में थोड़ा
Right,
सा
right,
changes आ
right.
जाता है.
Right.
Especially with HEERAMANDI, I didn't want to speak वो लगान type accent.
Yes.
Das,
We all noticed
लगान.
that, yeah.
You know, and I think at the beginning, they were like, no, that's what we want. So I was like, okay, I wasn't.
But
so
usme bhi at the end, you have changed your tone.
Thoda sa.
Yes.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
I noticed. I don't know about others. I noticed. You changed your tone. Like
Yeah.
pani la de. You didn't say that.
Yeah.
Pani la do or something like.
Little words you
Words.
change,
Yes.
yeah.
To convince
So,
your character.
I think also what happens in that is, and it was shown that Sanjay sir was saying, "नहीं ये बहुत खींचा हुआ ही लग रहा है," because when you speak with a completely Angrezi accent in Hindi, it becomes very खींचो.
Right.
And this is now khichod. It's like,
Right. Yeah,
what
yeah,
is
it's a-
khichod?
yes.
You know, somebody
Yes.
in, you know, Pakistan will be like khichod. What
Yeah.
the hell is that? But
Yes.
that's Bombay Hindi.
That's Bombay
You know,
Hindi.
so my Hindi is kind of Bombay Hindi at the
Right.
same time. So then he said, नहीं उसको बोलो कि जैसे वो बात कर रहे हैं ना वैसे बात करो, सिर्फ थोड़ा कहीं ना कहीं
Twist and
English,
turns.
हाँ, थोड़ा डाल
Yes,
दो. So I
yes.
think, and it's come off pretty well.
Very
like
well,
that.
very professional and very well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So many years of your you been into industry, you have seen your ups and downs. Were there days where you wanted to give up? Like, you know, you wanted to be like, what the hell is happening with me? What the hell is, you know, that वो बोलते हैं ना in Hindi that you are about to reach, that वहाँ पहुँचने वाले हो, and many people just give up
Yeah.
before that.
Yeah.
And I feel that you didn't give up and you just hits the bullseye. So were there days where you wanted to like leave everything and just, you know, kill few people, go to Himalayas? Yeah.
I mean, I went to Himachal.
Before or after the movie?
I think before and after.
Yes, okay, great.
But I think it happens in everything in life. Whether you know your private relationships,
Yeah.
You come to points like that with family members.
Right.
In
Work-wise,
business as well. In this industry also, there's frustrations. You know,
Yeah.
I would say not so much with my career. I would say more with just different nuances in the industry that you're like, okay, we spoke about it, especially this side. I don't know why. In the South, everything is so clear cut.
Right.
It's almost like jo likha hai wohi hai.
this you're like must be the 25th person I'm talking to who is saying South is very professional than Bollywood.
It's not about profession. I think both are professional. I think यहाँ पे एक थोड़ा complacency है कि मैं हाँ करेगा. But the thing is that especially when it comes to contracts,
Right.
and I've realized that just recently, HEERAMANDI finished for me quite some time ago. Just recently, I was like, yeah, but we spoke about this. Why can't it just be like that? In the South, it's never like that. One call, and they're like, "Inna sir, okay sir, yes sir." You
Yes,
know? And
yeah.
that's it, and we're on
Yeah.
that track. So I hope that this side, and I have faced a lot of issues like that, especially in TV. There were places where, as you said, give up. I'm like, dude, if I have to do this,
I wanna-
fight
yeah.
after we've worked professionally.
Yeah.
And the thing is that for an actor, you're always there on time. Or at least I try to be.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure if you ask
Yeah.
anybody from production on HEERAMANDI, I was there about 45
We all have heard good things about you.
नहीं, मैं खुद की तारीफ नहीं कर रहा, but it is something that I like to be there.
Right.
You know, I like to get ready. I like to see the script early.
Right.
You know, in those ways. So I think we do our job, and then there's a few things that need to be followed up from the production side
Right.
that isn't followed up, and then you're like, then why did I do it?
Exactly.
You know, I should have also behaved. In this.
Exactly. Tell me something. After the release of HEERAMANDI, you know, do you feel that it is little bit somewhere unfair on the actors that they are not promoted in promotions of HEERAMANDI over these 5 girls? Do you feel that?
I think, well, that's obviously, again, it's for, you know, different people to, you know, come up with. I think the PR and those people, the marketing people are the ones that make those decisions. I think, yes, promote them because they are the show. But yes, definitely give some, I think for any actor,
Yeah.
there's an amount of appreciation that is felt when
Right.
you are invited to an event,
Right.
when you are shown or displayed in a good way.
Right.
You know, because I think a lot of people put out a lot of hard work and effort. And for me, as an actor, it doesn't matter. I don't mind playing supporting roles. But I think a really good performance from the entire crew comes a lot from the support.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
And what is it? It's nothing. It's just an
Right.
event or a small
Right.
together or something
Right.
like that where a few pictures are shown, and
Right.
that also helps them in their
Absolutely.
work ahead.
Yeah.
So yes, definitely, I think it could be upped. A
Right.
little upscale than what had happened over here.
Right. I totally respect you, but at least you said it. You know, a lot of people can't say it, but you said it. That's brilliant. How important is relationship for you in today's time?
I think it's everything. I think one side which I felt kind of I was questioning in a lot of ways. I wasn't introduced to anyone over here. I think maybe I was introduced to Tajda. Sonakshi, I was definitely told you have a scene with Sonakshi.
Yes.
I was taken into a corner and I felt like I was a rapist. They were like, you have a scene with Sonakshi, you know that? And I was like, yeah, relax.
Yeah.
She's in good hands.
Right.
You know? But everybody else, I mean, I had directors come in front of me and no introduction. And that I felt kind of questionable, like those, and coming from a good family background, a good upbringing, when you walk into a room, I like to make sure that I say hello to everyone. Acknowledge, we're all human beings at the end of the day. I don't see upper, lower, you know, all of that doesn't, you know, the guy who's bringing me my chai, sometimes I have the most fun with him. Because he's the guy that's always coming towards me, you know, and that's just the way that I am. Maybe I'm asking for too much, but I felt in a lot of places like I just wasn't introduced to anyone, and I felt like when I go to the South, I'm nobody. I had Prashant sir and Salah stand up, introduce me to everyone. I just worked with Vasant sir in...
Oh, wow.
He is such a genuine man. Like, I can't tell you. It was like, I even told him, I said, Vasant sir, this is the first time I've worked this side of the market that the set is so quiet. It's so peaceful. People are so nice. Everybody's introducing themselves or at least being introduced to other people. And I didn't really feel that in this. And maybe people were just too busy in their own world with everything. But
I think upbringing counts a lot. 100%. Upbringing, it starts from your house, how you're being treated, how your house family, members treat others. And that's what you learn in your childhood. And that's what, when you become adult, you showcase that.
I actually, an actress, I thought was an AD at one point. And then I'm sitting there and all of a sudden and I was like, but okay.
Right.
So I think, it was missed.
Right. Tell me something, why didn't your relationships with girls in past didn't work? To be specific, with Anushka, it didn't work, and it was there all over media. Anusha Dandekar.
Yeah.
It was there all over media, and it was, and you handled it very gracefully. You handled it very nicely. Even she did handle it very nicely. So why it didn't work? You being a good guy and she being a good girl. What went wrong?
I think for all my relationships in the past, where I don't want to specify any of them.
Right.
I think I wasn't in the right place. I wasn't choosing. I wasn't choosing the path from a mature angle of what love truly is. I think I was just in the flow of what I thought life is, acha laga to kiya. And I think as you grow older maybe, and I think it's the relationship that once you start having with God, He starts to show you that when you have a feeling about something, be careful because your feelings will lie to you. And most of the time when you do something that you shouldn't have done, you've probably done it because it felt good.
Wow.
So I think that I've learned about love, and I think love is an action. Love is not a feeling. The feeling is the reaction of the action.
Oh my God, wow. This is so deep and so meaningful. Yeah.
So it's a very different outlook. So I can say I was, in my past, I was just, अरे ठीक है, जम रहे, मजा आ रहा है, पार्टी में गया, उसको मिला. And I see it a lot. I see it in relationships. I see it in marriages. And I think that's why they're failing. Is because I ask people, why are you with her? नहीं ठीक है यार, चल रहा है, अभी बाकी हम बाद में देखेंगे. And I'm like, तो फिर क्यों कर रहे? कहीं ना कहीं किसी का तो दुख होगा.
Right.
Someone's gonna get hurt. So why do it then?
Right.
Why waste time, money, all of your emotions?
Yes.
It's a lot that you...
And someone which you're not sure to be with.
And I think eventually, the most sacred part is that once you actually start physically bonding with someone else, I think there's a spiritual exchange that happens that can really be taxing.
Jason, the way you are now, and the way you were 15 years ago are two different boys, right? Because I've seen your few stories and posts till that, you know. By the way, why did you delete old pictures from Instagram? Did you?
No,
you
I
did,
just
right?
archived.
You did archive. Why? Because of the memory or because of what?
Yeah.
Or just to be that image of...
No, not even to be an image. I did leave quite a bit of my past as well because, you know, I'm not shy of it.
Right.
I don't regret anything.
Right.
I've had a beautiful life. I've had crazy experiences, and I don't want to live my life with any regrets.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's on a need-to-know basis of some things. You know.
Right.
And I think with this project, in some ways, I was like, okay, this is probably where I'm going to be exposed a lot more. So maybe
Right.
there are some things that I didn't want to answer.
Right.
answer to.
Fair enough. So you, again, to the same question, 15 years ago, you were a different boy.
Correct.
And after 15 years, you're a different man with all thought process, with spirituality, talking about God, talking about love, talking about respect and everything. How the journey of changing happened? Like you went through your own experiences, or it's just that, like, you know, one day you got up and you were like, okay.
Well, it was actually kind of that.
Really?
It was actually that. It was just 3 years back. I kind of woke up one day and I was just like, I'm done. I have everything I've always had. I'm so grateful to God. He's given me good work, good people. I have a great home. I have, you know, so much that I can be thankful.
Right.
But I was feeling empty from inside. जैसे बोलते हैं ना खोखला जैसे, you know, feeling आ गया. So I was like, I need to change this because it's only going to get worse from here. So I gave it all to God. I said, you know, it's all yours.
Yes.
And it was tough.
I'm sure.
Ask that I think we're not used to. We're used to, as I said, do whatever you feel like. Because if you feel it's good, it's good.
Yeah.
It's this very typical you know,
Yes.
statement that you get. But I'll tell you, I started feeling so peaceful, so happy. I used to go to sleep at 4 o'clock in the morning. I go to sleep at 9:30 at night now. I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So it's a literal 180-degree turn.
Wow.
And I wouldn't have it any other.
You have changed as a person a lot.
Yes.
A lot. Okay, tell me, what are your future plans? Like where you see yourself in next, not say 1 year, 2 years. What are the projects in hand? You're getting calls and you're saying no, and you're saying yes. What is happening?
Honestly, I don't think I shoot that far in the sense that I do take one day at a time.
Right.
I am that kind of a person. I don't think I've always looked too far. Obviously, I would like to cross many seas.
Right.
Maybe, you know, go to Hollywood, make a film over there as well.
Right.
You know, I had a casting call actually from London just recently, so I'm
Nice.
quite excited with that.
Nice.
And yeah, I'm so willing and ready to do new things, you know, and that's the person
Absolutely.
that
That's
I
the way you are, and you
Yeah.
come across also, like, you know, one step at a
And
time.
maybe marriage. I mean,
I'm
soon,
sure.
anything.
Yes.
Well, you know, I think it's as it all you know rolls out.
Right.
I'll know what it is at the right.
Right. The one thing you regret that you would have not done in past 10 years. The one thing
I
was
don't
like,
really regret anything. I think everything. I think I would have hurt people less. I think I've hurt some people, and it wasn't intentionally. I think, but just because I was so blindsided by my ego that, you know, as I said, I was just doing things that felt good, and I think I might have broken a few hearts.
but do you have ego today also?
I think we always do. You
Right.
know, it's something that we've always got to fight, especially as men.
Right.
I think we just have an extra,
Right.
you know, couple
Right.
of ego.
Right.
You know.
And accepting that you have is a big thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. I think that's the start.
That's the
Is
start.
looking at yourself and saying, no, I'm not a perfect person.
Right.
Everybody, I've got a lot of answers these days. No, I'm a
Right.
good person, and I'm like, who's judged you on that?
Amazing. Justin, so tell me something. Does contact works in your industry, in film industry? Does your friendship or contacts? Because a lot of time I have seen people who might not be talented, but are like on the top of the race, and people like, you know, like theater actors or the actors with a lot of emotions into them are not much recognized in the industry. Do you feel?
Exposure, I think, is one thing, and having better contacts.
That works. Contact works, right?
Because you're meeting people and they're seeing you at face value.
Right.
So that definitely does help. For me, I think I've kind of, at least in this industry, I can do things that not a lot of other foreigners can do.
Right.
So I usually get contacted first.
Right. Right.
They're like, "Nee, ek banda hai." So
Yes. But do you want to explore that side of acting, and not just being as a commissioner, police officer and all? What other role that you have that bhook, that havas of doing it, like I want to do this role, kuch bhi karke, I want to do it.
I mean, I've always dreamed of being a Russian mafia.
Yeah.
Always wanting to be that. But I was just at a...
Like an action hero then.
Yeah, why
wow.
not?
Yeah.
I think it's in the creative side. I was at a get together the other night, and somebody there said, "Would you play a cricketer?" And I said, "Absolutely. It was my first dream to be a cricketer.
Yes.
So why not?"
Yes.
Yeah. So I guess it's from the creative space.
I pray to God that you will play Russian mafia very soon, followed by a role of a cricketer. Yes. Moving on to our next round, which is a rapid fire round, where I'm going to ask you questions and you have to be really quick. And if you reply all the questions honestly in 1 minute, which is 60 seconds, you'll win this hamper.
Awesome.
Which is one of the exclusive hamper from this brand called Myra.
Okay.
And these are the luxurious products which are there in this. And if you don't want to answer anything, you say pass. And the moment you say pass, I'm going to remove one thing and keep it with me.
Wow. Okay.
Okay?
Okay, all right.
So are we on for it?
Let's do it.
Great. Okay. Start. 3 type of pakoras.
Oh my gosh. Onion, aloo, paneer.
3 series on Netflix.
Gentleman, HEERAMANDI, and The Office.
Great. 3 actors you want to work with.
Leonardo, Brad Pitt, and Randeep Hooda.
Great. Thank God Indian actor you mentioned one. 3 Indian chutney.
Coconut, mint, and tomato.
Yes, okay. 3 types of people, the qualities that 3 people carry in themselves.
Kind, happy, peaceful.
3 movies you think you saw is a mistake for you.
Oh, a mistake.
Yes.
Oh no, I'm gonna get into trouble for this.
Come on, it's 3 things.
Pass.
Seriously?
something out.
Just 3 movies.
I'm gonna get. I don't know actually. That's a good question.
3 movies which you didn't like.
Okay, that I didn't like. Yeah, that's easier actually.
Yeah.
The Lion King 2. I think
Really?
they shouldn't have made that. Yeah. Jungle Book 2 for sure.
Okay.
The Jungle
That's
Book
interesting,
Is like a childhood
yeah.
favorite. Third one.
Any Bollywood film, I can say 10 of them.
Without hurting somebody's feelings. What was that? Hera Fairy.
Hera Fairy.
Yes. So
Yes.
number 1 was my favorite.
Right, and then they
Yeah,
shouldn't
they
have
shouldn't have
created.
gone.
Great. Okay. 3 best friends of yours today.
My sister, my mom, and I should say Eduardo.
Great. What's that?
Eduardo. He's one of my friends from Brazil.
Oh, great. Amazing. 3 leafy vegetables that you hate.
That I hate: broccoli, palak, and it's funny when you ask these questions. It's out of my mind. Leafy.
Yeah. मेथी, पालक, broccoli. और कौन सी होती है? What is leafy vegetables में?
Leafy.
Yeah.
Cabbage.
Great. Okay. 3 things you do in the morning.
I wake up, I pray, and I drink coffee.
Great. 3 qualities you need in your partner.
To be loving, helpful, and direct.
3 directors you want to work with.
Rajamouli.
Very well said,
I would
yeah.
actually like to work with A.R. Murgados as a director.
Oh, as an AD.
No, as him
As
being the director.
director,
The
okay.
movie I worked in, he was the
Great.
producer.
Okay.
And I mean, if I can go Scorsese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But not Sanjay Leela Bhansali again.
No comment.
Really? Really? Okay. Okay. Your favorite romantic destination?
I love Bali, but I think Lake Como for me would be really beautiful. I haven't been.
Nice. And one more?
And one more, 3.
Yeah.
I think somewhere in Croatia.
Great. 3 water animals?
Water animals. Turtle, dolphin, and a seal.
Amazing. Now, before you get this hamper, why don't you want to work with Sanjay Leela Bhansali?
And cut.
Well, amazing. You did fab. You were honest throughout the episode, throughout the show. And I hope and pray and wish that you get all the work because you are a true gentleman.
Thank you.
Yes, and you deserve this. The hamper from Myra goes to Dressen.
Thank you.
This is heavy. Thoda sa.
Thoda sa, but
Thoda
for
sa,
you as
well.
well. Thank you so much.
Great. Your phone, I think, yeah. Now, before we leave,
Yeah.
this is the mug which you need to sign
Perfect.
by a lipstick.
Oh, wow.
So you just have to sign. Again, it's a very famous brand in Delhi, by the way. It's called Love Earth. It's doing wonders. You can apply it or give it to your mom or
think I
sister or
would
something. You can apply it and give a kiss or you can sign. It's
I'll
totally
sign.
your call.
Okay,
That's
perfect.
the mug. And I will keep this as a memory.
I'll sign on you also. Your yeah, wow, this is a very different. Quite like, well, this looks messy,
It's just fine.
I guess.
But you can write Jason also. Jason.
I have never signed with this. So
Amazing.
this doesn't even look like anything, but there you go.
This is a memory. I'm going to keep it. And after say 5 years, when you will go and receive an Oscar, I'm going to show it to people. This is Jason.
Messy handwriting.
But good. Before you leave, do you want to say something to your followers or your lovers or your young generation who follow you, your fitness mantra or anything that you want to say? I know that you left smoking or you minimized on your
I
smoking
completely stopped it.
and you used to smoke like what, 2 packets a day?
2.5 packets a day.
What made you do that?
Again, God helped me through it, but a life changed completely. No alcohol.
Was
just
it difficult?
so-
It must be
yeah,
difficult,
definitely.
right?
Just a lot of addictions in general. And if I'm saying to my viewers, I would say fasting is a really good way to increase your willpower and self-control. A lot of people don't really know, but if you can fast for 1 or even 3 days, 7, 20, 40, those are all really great, but start just with 1 day. Just start with 12 hours. You'll be surprised at the amount of things you'll be able to let go of, which you've wanted to for a long time, and new things that you would actually be able to start.
So I do intermittent fasting
Okay.
for 16 hours.
Oh,
It's
wow.
been a month.
Okay.
And I have seen change. I feel light, I feel more active and this and that. But now you're saying fasting as in 3 days
Yeah.
without food.
Everything. Yeah, food in general. You can, I would say, obviously do it with consulting your doctor or, your physician or whoever you're working with, because some people have different problems. But yeah, if you can do it, drink water. I know people go without food for like 20 days.
Yeah, 21 also.
Yeah, 21.
I think
Somebody
in
just did it.
Gujaratis also they have this thing, 21 days fasting or 11 in Jains.
Probably.
In Jains
Jains.
maybe, yes.
Jains.
Yes. So how many days you fast?
So I've only done 3 days.
And you don't drink water also, or you drink water?
Yeah, I usually try not to. Maybe in the middle of the day, I have a glass of water. But then, of course, it's time permitting and everything. But it's changed my life. I was fasting like 1 day every week, and the changes are immense.
Amazing, amazing. That is Jason Shah for every one of us. Honest, good-looking guy who will get a lot of work, and I have no doubts about it. Thank you, Jason, for coming on my show. Thank you so much. It was amazing meeting you. Amazing. Yeah.